Luffy is about to unlock the strongest haki in all of One Piece. In One Piece, everything is infused with haki. Some things resonate louder than others, sure, but it's always there. From the breath of all things to the voice of all things, a deeper force connects everything. And devil fruits, they are not just powers, they are manifestations of that same force. Reality bending wills born from human dreams, just as Vegapunk explained back in chapter 1066. These fruits let users conjure fire, reshape landscapes, or even alter emotions like the Horohoro no Mi. Haki and devil fruits are two sides of the same coin, but here's the catch. Haki fades. You can punch a Logia really hard, coat your hand with haki and touch them, but the second you let go, they are back to being fire, manga, light, or even people who don't believe that dragons come into Elbaf. Even Rio and Advanced Conqueror's haki doesn't have lasting impact. They push back the fruit's reality only temporarily, but Gaban's god haki changes all of that. His strikes have a lasting imprint. That's why Saint Summers, a god's knight who can regenerate from anything, suddenly couldn't heal. Gaban's haki didn't just hurt him, it cancelled out the connection his body has to the devil fruit power the ability is coming from, which is likely Imu's. Now, I know others like Mr. Morge have touched on the idea of permanent haki, but I'm gonna take it a step further. I don't think this is the first time we have seen it. Look at Punk Hazard. After the clash between Aokiji and Akainu, the island didn't go back to normal, it stayed split in two. Magma, ice, that's not just their fruit, bruh. That's lingering, reality-altering haki. Or Raijin Island in the New World, where it's eternally raining lightning. Maybe that's the scar left behind by someone with Enel's fruit, or something similar fused with his advanced, like, god haki. Even Luffy's Nika fruit has shown glimpses of this. Long ring, long land. Everything was stretched there, from animals to the very earth itself. That's not just cartoon logic, bro. That's residual reality manipulation. But currently, Luffy can't do that, because when he exits Gear 5, it gets rid of all of his awakening powers. The world snaps back to normal. Like, all of those bouncy terrains he creates, they're not bouncy anymore. But what if this new level of God Haki, it makes it so if Luffy wills it, that bouncy land is gonna stay bouncy. Something he stretches is gonna stay stretched. Cause where is my dude's drippy sunglasses or that baseball bat he created? What if it allows a user to not only erase devil fruit effects mid-battle, but also preserve the changes made by awakened fruits bending the world permanently? But to reach this level of power, the Straw Hats and especially Luffy will need to learn about it. What I do want to talk about is why Imu just showed up here though. Because my goat, say it with me, Monkey Deadbeat Dragon has attacked Mary Geoise. Okay, Imu says the Holy Land is burning, so it could be Blackbeard, but the agenda says dragon. Because who has fire? The Flame Emperor Sabo. Who made sure to start a whole blockade of food to Mary Geoise? Dragon. And the Revolutionary Army. Who said he was gonna make his move now? Mr. Deadbeat himself. Who is a 5-head military strategist that would follow the words of Sun Tzu and attack the enemy where some of their forces, i.e. the God's Knights, are away in Elbaf? Monkey Deadbeat Dragon. In a way, if the fire was caused by Dragon, this would mean that Dragon came to Elbaf, right? Like in the Elbaf arc. So like, I was right. Dragon came to Elbaf. Seriously though, there is some big trouble in the Holy Land for Imu to literally come so that the rest of the knights can leave quick to help out. A big force has moved, however, something isn't adding up. The God's Knights just got to Elbaf. Like, they popped into the castle, went to Loki, and now are in the Sun World. With Gunko's arrow flying, this would take at most a few hours. Shamrock was recalled just a bit ago as well, so how has the situation changed so drastically now? Why not ask the rest of them to leave with Shamrock? Why send 2 extra knights if things were so dire? Well, remember that little quote of Louis Arnaud Oda slapped onto the final page when we entered Elbaf? Do not linger there for too long. What if only a few days have passed in Elbaf, but weeks have gone by outside? Just like how giants can live 3x the amount of humans, Elbaf might have a time-altering property which causes this time dilation. Whatever might be the case, I believe that Luffy will learn about this new haki that can damage the God's Gods Knights from Gabon, as he's literally falling into the underworld, and since Chopper is the doctor jumping in to save him, he will live, imparting the knowledge to the gang. After which, an inverse of Sabaody will occur, with Luffy saving one of the wings of the Pirate Kings instead of the other way around, slapping Imu's control off of Gunko, not only saving her, but freeing her memories. Man, I feel like this chapter was probably the best chapter this entire year. Man, Gabon's fight was legendary. That anime episode is gonna be peak. Low-key, it feels like we're living through history right now. It's like, imagine reading Naruto weekly when Pain attacked the village, or doing Marineford. Right now, it feels like we're living through a legendary like moment in One Piece right now, that 30 years later, we're gonna tell our kids like, yeah, I was there reading weekly when Imu showed up in Elbaf, when Monkey that beat Dragon showed up in Elbaf, you know? If you enjoyed this video, go watch the other One Piece video on screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.